From about 100 yards, sharks can begin to detect even the faintest vibrations created by the movements of struggling fish. These vibrations are picked up by very sensitive fluid-filled canals called lateral lines, which run under the skin. Lining the canals are tiny hair-like receptors which are especially attuned to the kinds of vibrations made by wounded prey. At around 30 yards, the hunter can literally set its sights on the hunted. The size and shape of shark eyes tends to depend on where the shark lives. Sharks that feed in shallow waters usually have smaller eyes because they have more light to deal with, while sharks that swim in deeper water tend to have larger eyes. Some sharks also have an eyelid called a nictitating membrane that closes to protect the eye while the shark bites its prey. By the time a shark gets within 6 feet, it can even detect prey that is hidden from view. It does this with sensory organs known as the ampullae of Lorenzini. Connected by pores located on the snout and head, these jelly-filled sacs are capable of detecting electrical fields as well as the direction they are coming from. These fields can even emanate from a tiny open wound or an animal buried in the sand and can be as weak as 100 millionth of a volt. Any one of a shark's highly tuned senses is capable of leading it to its prey, but when they're all used together, the outcome is usually deadly. Sharks' teeth and jaws are awe-inspiring weapons. Many can extend their jaws forward to snatch their prey in a single movement. Shark teeth are varied in their design and purpose, depending on the food source. The serrated and hooked teeth of a tiger shark are highly efficient shearing and tearing tools. Some teeth, like those of the Port Jackson shark, are designed for crushing shellfish, which it finds among the rich kelp grounds in Australian waters. The teeth of the Greenland shark are so sharp that they were once used by Eskimos as tools for cutting hair. The woebegone uses its angled teeth and lightning-fast lunge feeding technique to grasp its prey. Sharks lose teeth continuously throughout their lives. To replace them, some have as many as 15 rows of teeth folded back into the tissue of the jaw. In some sharks, as many as 6,000 razor-sharp teeth are lost and replaced every year. Lost teeth are replaced by others that can rotate into the frontal position, sometimes within 24 hours. The actual bite strength of sharks has intrigued scientists for years. The record to date from experiments like these is some 42,000 pounds per square inch. which surprisingly is not that much stronger than a human bite. The difference is, we don't have the deadly razored edges of sharks' teeth. What sharks choose to bite ranges from the predictable to the bizarre. One shark known to eat almost anything in its path is the tiger shark. Stomach contents have included a pair of tennis shoes, medieval armor, nuts and bolts, a tin can, a life jacket, and an ammunition shell. Nurse sharks, on the other hand, are adapted to a much more specialized diet. They have sensory organs called barbels, which act as feelers while they root through the sand for food. Nurse sharks cruise the sea floor for their staple diet, which includes shellfish like conch. To get to the meat, the nurse shark first rolls over the conch with a forceful jet of water, exposing the small opening on the underside of its tough shell. Then, using a suction action equal to the power of 12 vacuum cleaners, the shark rips out the tender flesh from inside the shell. Other shellfish, like lobster, require a different strategy. Continual bumping keeps the lobster off balance until finally its strength is gone. The shark grabs the exhausted lobster and slams it into the sea floor, severing its meaty tail from the rest of its body. The largest fish in the oceans is also the most gentle of sharks. The whale shark can grow to over 50 feet and weigh more than 20 tons. And yet it feeds on some of the smallest of sea creatures. So-called filter feeders take in water through their mouths, filtering it through their gills at a rate of 250,000 gallons an hour, and straining out tiny organisms called plankton, along with small fish and shrimp. A close encounter with a whale shark is a rare and thrilling event. But our fascination is beginning to include other and more dangerous sharks.
What you're going to see down there today are Caribbean reef shark, black tips, nurse sharks, definitely as a core population. But if they come by...
Here at Walker's Cay in the Bahamas, Gary Atkinson prepares his divers for an experience they won't soon forget, swimming with the sharks.
Photographers, you need to wear gloves, especially you white people. you look like squid, you look like fish belly, it's your curse, okay? Your white hand on those black handles thrust out there can be unattractive. That's why we ask that nobody wear any white on the dive, okay? No white t-shirts, no white gloves, okay? No white. Those of you with white fins, all right, guys, let's go diving.
Whether they're motivated by thrill-seeking or simple curiosity, these tourists are about to get a new insight into sharks.
Once you're down in the sand, stay put. Remember, guys, that these sharks are wild animals. This isn't a Disney World attraction.
Divers here have found that certain sharks accept baited food, even though these reef sharks are quite capable of attacking humans. Sharks have a price on their heads, but the reward of up to $1,000 a carcass is far below their dollar value alive. It's estimated that each live shark brings the Bahamian economy as much as $250,000 tourist dollars each year. It's on dives like these that we've come to learn some of the more intriguing behaviors of sharks. A very peculiar thing happens when some sharks are turned over. Scientists call it tonic immobility. It's a state of sensory overstimulation that in sharks induces a relaxed, sleep-like state. This growing understanding of present-day sharks will give us more insights into their past. With little evidence preserved from their boneless ancestors, today's sharks are studied as living fossils, adding bits and pieces to the story of how sharks evolved. The first sharks appeared in the oceans around 400 million years ago, but they bore little resemblance to the ones that inhabit the seas today. Edestus giganteus grew to a size as large as today's great white and had a set of gigantic, scissor-like jaws. The helicoprion had teeth that were generated in a whorl and designed for crushing hard shells. Why these specialized sharks became extinct is a mystery. A close relative of today's great white, but twice its size, Carcharodon megalodon, was perhaps the largest of all predatory fish. It became extinct between 1 and 3 million years ago, but it's still regarded as a modern shark. Modern sharks began their rise to dominance late in the age of the dinosaurs, some 140 million years ago. At the same time, another group branched off, evolving into the rays and skates of today.